Bismillahirrahmanirrahim wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulullah. Hello and welcome guys again. In this video we will configure a layer 2 security. So we will go through this scenarios and part 1 and part 2 and part 3, the last one. And he says configure the root bridge. I think it's so much matter if you know spanning tree protocol and how it work. So here, step 1, determine the correct root bridge. How you do that? How you know this is the root bridge or this is the root bridge? We know routers communicate together through BPDU, bridge protocol data unit. So spanning tree block some ports to prevent the loops in the network. So here in the central multi-layer switch, we have switch 1. You can go to the central switch through 1, 2, its block, here 3, up its block, here from F01, F023, here it's block. So there is only one way to go to the central multi-layer switch, and spanning tree it's enabled by default. So this is why you have a orange light here, orange light here. So determine the current root bridge. How you do that? First, let's go to the central. Let's command line and say enable. The password is here. Let's control C and let's copy it here. Okay, and let's say show spanning tree. Here you see the root ID. The root ID, it's the information about the current root bridge. You have here the priority and you have here the MAC address. If the MAC address of the root ID is the same with the bridge ID, that's our switch, it's the root bridge. So let's see, the priority is 32769. Here the same. The addresses, the MAC address 0009 000D. So this is not the root bridge. Let's go to the switch 1. Enable show spanning tree. Here the root ID, the priority is the same, the MAC address of the root ID is the same of our bridge ID. So this is the root bridge. From central, issue the show spanning tree command to determine the current root bridge. This is what we did. Okay, let's go to the step 2. Assign a central as the primary root using the spanning tree VLAN1 root primary. So how we want to change the root bridge from switch 1 to the central multi-layer switch. So we will say config t spanning tree VLAN1 root primary. This command will automatically make the central the root bridge. So if we say exit and say show spanning tree, you will see the root ID and there's information this bridge is the root, and the MAC address is the same with the priority. The priority is automatically increased. So we finished the first step. Let's go the second step. Let's go to the third step. Assign switch 1 as the secondary root bridge. If this root go down, this will be the secondary option. So let's go and say config t, and let's say spanning tree VLAN 1 root is the secondary. Okay. Step 4, verify the spanning tree communication. We already did that. Here the part 2, protect against STP attack. How this is work? We says the switches communicate by using BBDU, Bridge Protocol Data Unit. If for example one of the devices send a BBDU, this kinda an spanning tree attack, because you are a PC, how you can send a BBDU messages. So how you do that? By two things: by enabling port fast here, and by enabling port fast access for the access port, and enabling BBDU guard in the switches. So let's do that. First, enable port fast on all access port. So let's do that. Enable the password, config terminal, and there's one thing important to say. It's before enabling port fast only be configured in access static port. So you should say before enabling the port fast, you should say interface range from F0/1 to 4 switch mode access, and say switch port security, and enter. In this way you already configure the port fast. How to know the port fast is working or not? Let's say this is the line from PC1. Let's connect it again. It's already green. The port go through the listening and learning stage, but when you configure port fast, it's already forward. Okay, now let's do the same here with the switch B. Let's say enable the password, and say config terminal, and say interface range F0/1 to 4 switch mode access, and switch port security. Okay, we did that. Now enable BBDU guard in all access port. How we do that? Spanning tree BBD guard enable, and click enter, and do the same with the switch A, and spanning tree BBD guard, it's enabled. And now enable root guard. What's that mean? The root guard, it's if this switch, we already know this switch is the root. Okay, what happen if one of the switches try to send a better he has better priority or try to act as a root. How to defend that and secure that? Let's go. He says enable on the switch switch 1 and switch 2 from the port 20 fast ethernet 0 23 and 24, and the same with the switch 2. So say interface range f0/23 to 24 spanning 3 guard, yes, guard root, yes, enter, and do the same with the switch 2. Enable config terminal and do the same. Interface range f0 from 23 to 24 spanning 3 guard root and enter. Okay, here configure the part 3, configure port security and disable unused port. We already configure this port security to protect the port and disable unused port. Configure basic port security on all ports connected to the host devices. Okay, it's switch A and switch B, and he says here set the maximum number to learn MAC address is 2, allow the MAC address to be learned dynamically, and set the violation shutdown. Okay, let's do that. It's from switch A and switch B. So let's go from switch A, exit. Okay, let's say interface range f0/1 to 4. Okay, switch port security enable, and switch port, the maximum is 2 for each port, and also what he says, and make it to learn dynamically. So switch port security MAC address sticky, and also make the violation shut down. So the violation will be shut down. Enter. Also what? Okay, that's it. Let's do the same with the switch B. Exit. Interface range, the active port f0/1 to 4. Switch port security enable, and switch port security, the maximum number is 2, and also the learning will be the MAC address will be sticky, and also the violation will be shut down. Okay, verify the port security. Okay, from switch A, let's go to the switch A and see exit. Do show port security interface f0/1. Enter. Here the port security is enabled, the violation is shut down, and the MAC address, the maximum MAC address is 2. It is now it's 00. He didn't learn any MAC address, so ping from PC1 to PC2 and do the same command again. So let's go. Let's see what's the IP of PC2 10.1.1.11. Okay, let's go to the command prompt, ping 10.1.1.11. okay, and let's go to the switch and do this. Try again. Yes, he learned one MAC address and the last good address. This is the MAC address. Okay, now disable unused port. So let's disable unused port in the switch A and switch B. So let's go, let's say interface range from F05, because 1 to 4 we already use it, to 22, because 23 and 24 it's connected to the switches, and say shutdown. Okay, now let's go to the PC switch B and do the same, exit. And also, I'm sorry, let's say here exit and say interface range. We are not using the giga, so let's turn it off. Giga 0/0 to 02. Interface is not 1 to 2, I think. Yes, shut down. And let's say interface range F0/5 to 22, shut down. Okay, let's shut down the interface. Say interface giga 0/1 to 2. Yes, we forgot the range. Shut down. Okay, now let's see. Show IP interface brief. 1 and to 4 we are using it, and let's see 12. Okay, it's all down, that's correct. And let's see, verify from exit, do show IP interface brief. 1 to 4 is good, and 23, 24 we are using it, and the all is down. So this is the end of the lab. We configured the spanning tree, we changed the root bridge from the switch A to the centralized, and also we configured the port fast and BBD guard and the security port. Thank you for watching. This is the end of the video.